We learn from our teachers and parents to be the light in the dark, the calm in the storm, and always to be in peace. Because those who are at war with others are not at peace with themselves. War doesn't determine who's right, only who's left. War destroys the base of humanity. I believe that the harvest of war, like what happened in Syria, are piles of disadvantages. Death, injuries, and migrations to millions of innocent people. Loss of economic resources and destruction of environment. The reasons behind this ugly conflict are power, beliefs, and materialistic values. More than 7 years of this war that started on March 15, 2011 has caused hundreds of thousands of people dead. 470,000 adults, 55,000 children dead, as well as 560,000 injured. The war also destroyed the homes of many Syrians because of the conflict between the Syrian regime, who was supported by international powers on one side and opposition with many other powers on the other side. The war broke out from a southern city called Daraa when some students protested against the challenges and difficulties of living that they faced every single day. Things we as Canadians could never imagine. Sadly, most of them were killed or injured by government sources. Many other demonstrations extended all over the country and were confronted by the same violent ways. Both sides fought under the flag of Syria, not knowing there is no flag large enough to cover the shades of killing innocent people. Economic consequences of war in Syria are the worst in the state of history. Debt and inflation increase, while consumption and investment decrease. Excessive military spending spoils all the income of national production, which affects negatively on other areas such as industries, education, and infrastructure, which ultimately involve long-term effects or in growth rates. Believe it or not, Syria has lost more than $275 billion. This counts all the factories, buildings, schools, stores, houses, and much more places which have been broken down, leaving only dust and memories for us to remember. Syria was a country that had more than 180,000 square kilometers of area, which almost all of it has been destroyed. 180,000 kilometers disappeared to become thin air. Before March 2011, Syria was known as the only country in the region that was self-sufficient on food production, especially in wheat and barley. If you stop by Syria now, or even 3 years ago, you will remark all the people standing in line for hours to purchase 1 to 2 pieces of bread to feed their loved ones. Syria was a country that had one of the fastest growing farming techniques in the world. Unfortunately, most of this infrastructure is now damaged, making it nothing but an empty field. Major environmental issues in Syria include deforestation, overgrazing, soil erosion, desertification, water pollution from the dumping of raw sewage and waste from the petroleum refining, and inadequate supplies of potable water. The toxicity of weapons used during the war, such as motor bombs, artillery shells, barrel bombs, and missiles have been the leading cause for this damage. Take, for example, Syria's oil production, industrial areas, and waste management in Syria's production. All the plans and efforts by the United Nations have failed to find real solutions for these environmental issues. The war in Syria brought destruction for all life aspects and levels. Death, injuries, and migration to millions of innocent people. Tremendous loss for the national economy and a huge spoilage of environment. There's only so much I could cover in 5 minutes because believe me, the story never ends there. Never think that war, no matter how necessary nor how justified, is not a crime. as Ernest Hemingway said. Lastly, to end my speech off, I have a question for you to think about. They claim that it is a war on terrorism. So my question is the war itself terrorism or not? Thank you.